Hi, Ted Rubin back again from the CMO Club dinner on January 11th, and I'm here right now with David Garrison, someone who's always been a tremendous relationship for me and helped me with a lot of the thinking and the thought process of where I go and what I do with social media. David is the former CMO of Indaba Music, a really groundbreaking music site that he can probably tell you a little bit more about, but I'd really love to hear from David about what it's like being a CMO in a social media world.
Well, I guess, being a CMO in general means that you are necessarily social, right? Increasingly, both marketing and communications are not just focused on the marketing suite, so they're integrated. And as more and more CMOs come into thinking about digital and social media and how they integrate into regular marketing programs, they recognize that it's actually more than just an external thing, it's also an internal thing. So, long story short, a social CMO is both social because it's a necessary part of their external campaign development, but also because increasingly to get a good organization to work well consistently at building those campaigns and executing strategy, they have to be social internally. So I would actually say that being a social CMO is more than just kind of recognizing that you have to tweet or post a Facebook post every so often. It's actually much more about how you integrate into a whole organization.
David, I love that you say that because I think one of the unique things today is that I think CMOs and C-suite executives to begin with have been very insular for many, many years, and it was hard for them to necessarily reach out because all of their associations were with other people in the C-suite, and it was very hard for them to get that direct connection to a vast cross group of people who do all different functions. And I think that what's one of the biggest advantages of how social everything is today and how easy it is to reach out to people is the ability to talk to people in all different walks of life and at all different levels of the organization. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I mean, I think, there's a great example of this is whoever, whether it's the CMO, the CEO, the head of corporate affairs, like whoever owns reputation as an example, is someone who has to understand that reputation isn't something that is just a kind of externally bound unidirectional exercise. Reputation is comprised of a whole set of strategic initiatives. It understands how you measure that, and you have to understand how you trade off campaigns that may influence different parts of the organization. And so as a CMO who's being social, you absolutely have to understand how your activities influence different decisions that everybody else in the organization is making. And that's both a senior level discussion, which has to do with strategy, it's a mid-level discussion, which has to do with execution, and it's a junior level discussion about engagement.
Right. I love the point you made because I think Pete brought it up when I interviewed him, and he talked about looking within your organization. That social isn't just about the exterior, it's also about interior and the communications that go on. And I think that's a very, very valuable part of it. But, David, I really appreciate you taking the time. I'm looking forward. I know that you've been looking at a lot of different opportunities, and I'm excited to talk to you again sometime and hear what you end up doing as your next venture.
Well, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you, Rana.